Hello, I'm producer John from the Balls of Trade podcast, and this is my sticky bit in the middle. On the last podcast, we got into a fairly lengthy discussion about Knack, the launch title on the PS4. It's not something that I'd played, or none of the other guys had played, and I kind of like it. I won't apologise for it. I thought it was kind of fun. I've played through it 2 or 3 times, and as a result of me initially bringing it up, Tony decided he was going to play it, and he said it was alright, but he had some issues with it, and rightly so. There are some gameplay little funnies. The principal problem that he had with it was the fact that you lost health as you went through a progression of fights, and at the end basically could be left with no health for the final thing. So there'll be 2 or 3 small fights and then a big fight, and as you went through you could lose health, relics as they are, little bits of you that fall off, and by the time you got to the end you had no strength left, you got hit, died, had to go back to the start and do it all over again, and he found that frustrating, and he's right, it could be frustrating. There were 1 or 2 bits and pieces. It looks, I think the problem that a lot of people had with Knack is it looks like a kid's game. It's very, very cartoony, it's very two-dimensional, and you know what, there could have been a better launch title. Having said that, I kind of like it. During the course of the discussion, Simon, being the font of all knowledge that he is, said, "Did you know that there is a Knack 2? "No, I didn't," I said. "How remarkable. I must get it." And get it I did. So I've got it, downloaded it, and I'm playing it, and I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's better. I think it's fixed the problems that there were. The health thing, for example. If you're in a fight, you get hit, you lose bits of relics, they fall off you. Your health bar goes down. If you lose too many, you die. That's the way that fights work. However, if you can get yourself clear of the action for a period of time, it's just a few seconds, but for a period of time, the relics that have all been knocked off you all come back. So you get your health back. And what that means is if you get through a fight and you've been injured, at the end of the fight, before you move on to the next section, it all comes back, fixes the problem. There's some other gameplay changes as well. The sunstone battery things that you had, which allowed you to power up and do special moves and all that kind of thing, which meant you had to go and crack sunstones and gather the energy. That's effectively gone away. The sunstones now give you a shield. They charge up a shield which protects you from damage for a certain amount of time, then it's depleted and then you take damage. You recharge that by smashing the sunstones. That's, I think, better. It was difficult at first because I was used to doing the circle other button combos to get the power-ups, but it's alright. I kind of like it. I like the way that it works. Knack's got some other fight moves now as well. He's got an extended punch and there's lots of other stuff in there which actually makes it a bit more rounded in terms of a gameplay. So anyway, that's the sort of podcasty bit. We'll probably talk more about Knack 2 on the podcast on the next episode next week. So now we'll move on and do the proper things. I just wanted to share, that's all. So, unless you've been in another universe, you will undoubtedly be aware that we lost Stephen Hawking. He died in the last week or so. I've read both A Brief History of Time and The Universe in a Nutshell, and they're extraordinary books. They're extraordinarily well written. He was an extraordinary guy for very, very many reasons. There seems to be no way that amount of energy and intelligence and drive could have been contained in that body. So he brought a lot. He invented things. He discovered things. He introduced a new awareness of the universe around us, but not just in that rarefied academic atmosphere, but to us all. We all know who Stephen Hawking is. We've kind of all heard about Hawking radiation. Okay, most people don't really understand it, and there's no reason you should. It's fine. Black holes decay, they give off Hawking radiation, that's how they decay, blah, blah, blah. But the fact that we have a conversation, or able to have a conversation about that, just goes to show how big an influence the man was in our lives. And it's a great mind that we've lost. So thank you, Stephen, for all that you brought and for 2 great books. In the movies, Black Panther has been kicking all kinds of movie ass and knocking records into the sand and stuff like that. It's the highest rated superhero movie ever on Rotten Tomatoes, which apparently is the de facto standard for judging movies. It was The Incredibles, which is a fantastic movie. I mean, we talked about kid stuff on Knack just now. Is effectively a kids movie, but it's not. It's got so much nuance in there. Great movie. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. Black Panther is rated higher than that on Rotten Tomatoes. It's made more money than you could even consider. I think it's up to thick end of $1.2 billion as I'm recording, and it's only going to climb. There's still international releases going on and stuff like that. It's the biggest grossing solo superhero movie. The ensemble casts have made more over the time, but this is the biggest single character movie, and there's all kinds of stuff going on about it as well. If you read all the bits and pieces that go along with it, you know, it talks about the diversity of the cast, strong female characters, black director, that kind of thing. Even if you take those aside, all of those elements, all of those groups, all of those interested parties do not equal $1.2 billion. It's just a good movie, and it's been really well told. Burnout Paradise Remastered has arrived, the iconic driving game that we've all spent time in, or the vast majority have spent time in, thrashing around, destroying things, driving through barriers, making huge big jumps and stuff like that. It's back, it's on PS4 and on Xbox, and I got it because I like the driving games. So I got it on PlayStation, and I've been tearing around Paradise City doing the things that you do in Burnout. As an older game, and it is an older game, it stands up pretty well. It's actually not too bad. There's a few wonky bits, and one of them was actually kind of wonky. I finished a race and the car was sort of being driven along by the machine as the banner came up with the results and stuff like that, and the wheel was all a bit wobbly, all over the place. But generally speaking, it stands up, and you know what? I'm probably going to spend quite a bit of time there. So if you didn't play it, you should get it, even though it's an older title. It's one of the remastered ones, all that kind of stuff. But you should get it. I'm enjoying it, so I'll carry on playing it. And it's good. It stands up well. Finally, the Tomb Raider movie is out. I am very much looking forward to seeing this. I haven't seen it yet. I've kind of seen clips of it and stuff online because I can't help it because I'm an idiot. But I'm very, very much looking forward to seeing how they deliver the new Lara Croft across to us. And from a look at what I've seen, Alicia Vikander is doing a very, very good job of it. Now, there's been some sort of talk about how she is so different, and the movie doesn't stand up well against the first set of movies with Angelina Jolie. And there's a really good reason for that. Angelina Jolie's Lara Croft was a fully formed version of that character. She was a gun-toting, vehicle-driving, skydiving, action hero. She was the Tomb Raider from that set of games. You came into it and you were about hunting relics and solving problems and stuff like that. The new Tomb Raider, the recent Tomb Raider, is a girl. She's a girl who comes from an aristocratic background, but she's just a girl, and that's all she is right at the start. She has to develop the survival skills. She doesn't already have them. She has to learn how to survive. She has to learn how to kill, for example, and be comfortable with that. And it's about the emotional development of the character as well as the physical attributes of the character, being the skills and the strength, etc., etc. So I think it's a mistake to compare the two, and we need to really just look at Tomb Raider as the development, the introduction, if you like, of Lara Croft as an individual and how she develops. That's it. That's it for me for now. I've talked far too much. This has probably been a longer one than I really wanted to do, so I'll probably be cutting some bits out. But thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe to the listen to it, and subscribe to the Balls on a Tray podcast, and you'll hear me probably too often, Tony and Simon talking about this kind of stuff and more. You can find us on iTunes, on here on the Facebooks, on the website ballsandtray.com, and over on YouTube's as well. So thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.